yo, it's your boy, Porter Rock 77, your only friend these YouTube streets, showing you this nice, sexy PlayStation VR. Haven't played it yet, I'm gonna play it this weekend. I'll give you my initial impressions, just giving you some updates. Tomorrow I'm gonna drop a video. I'm gonna give my finally Days Gone review. I am part of the 1%. I was able to platinum it, so I'm gonna drop a review video on that one. I'm gonna play some VR this weekend. Maybe sometime next week I'll give you my initial impressions. Bought tons of games. I got Malls, Astrobot, Batman, Impatient, Rush of Blood, Exorcist, Truth and Blood or Blood and Truth, whatever this game's called. Gotta have Ghostbusters. You know, I have a whole bunch of games, so I'm gonna try to play a lot of them. Check them all out, give my initial impressions about VR and stuff like that. I'll do a nice good video about that. But right now, I want to rock out two emerging topics that just came out. So number one, Spider-Man is, according to MPD, is now the highest selling superhero game of all time in MPD, and that's in North American territories, right? The game that had that title was Batman Arkham City. Now, the importance to that, or really the so what behind that is this. Arkham City came out in 2011, a little over almost 8 years ago, right? A little over 7 years ago, almost 8 years ago. This October would be 8 years ago. So Arkham City came out 8 years ago. So it's been out for, available for 8 years across the PlayStation 3, over 80 million. The Xbox 360, over 80 million sales. The Wii U, sadly, is only like 14 million sales. PS4, over 90 million sales. Xbox One, 40 million sales. And PC, which 90 plus million users, right? And also was available on Mac as well. So you're talking about 7 platforms over a span of close to 8 years, right? That's how much sales Arkham City had, and that had the title of the highest selling superhero game. Spiderman PS4, available on just one platform. Not even a year out on the market. This September it will be fully 1 year anniversary of Spider-Man PS4. Already surpassed it. Phenomenal. And like I said, big blockbuster company exclusives will sell. I said a long time ago, because one of the biggest complaints was Spider-Man's for everybody. This game should have been multi-plat, so that way it's accessible to everybody. When those statements were coming out, I told everyone, I said it, right? And I even retweeted some of my old tweets, that despite Spider-Man PS4 being available on only one platform, it will be the most played Spider-Man, period. Because the majority of gamers are not going to fanboy over plastic console. At the end of the day, majority of gamers get the platform for the games. The games is the priority. And Spider-Man proved that. People that wanted to play Spider-Man went out and got a PlayStation 4 to play Spider-Man, and it shows, right? But what I didn't predict on any level, that it was going to be the #1 selling superhero game of all time. That is way beyond. Now we're talking beyond people that just want to play Spider-Man or the best-selling Spider-Man, period. This is the best-selling superhero, period. Best-selling superhero game, period. Across the board. Right? And why? Because the majority of gamers sees consoles or see gaming platforms on the merit of the games. You got the games, they're going to get the console. Period. Right? No one's going to make excuses of, it's not available, whatever. Now, there are people, because of financial constraints, that's understandable. But that is the few and a minority. And I would imagine, even with them, they'll find a way to get a console, because like I said, you could get a PlayStation for like $200 with a $50 gift card, especially if you wait around, Black Friday deals. So they're going to find a way to play Spider-Man. One way or another, if you really want to play the game, you're going to play the game. Period. No one's going to save over plastic and deny themselves games because of the actual box. It's about the games, right? The second point I want to bring up, about 3 weeks ago, I made a tweet about Game Pass. Because I see everybody's getting games now because they could get it for $1 or they could get it $10 a month. And I made a tweet saying, with that attitude, or with that, not saying attitude, but with that system, I don't see Microsoft producing a lot of big AAA titles from these new studios over the next 10 years or whatever, right? Because I don't see Game Pass, with people only paying $10 a month and being able to finesse the system where a big game comes out, you subscribe to Game Pass for $10, play the game, beat the game, enjoy it for a little bit, and then unsubscribe. A lot of people are doing that. So a lot of people are bypassing the $60 price tag of games because now they have access to these games for $10 and they're not staying committed to Game Pass a lot, right? So under this, I don't see how Microsoft will invest big budgets on big AAA games when Game Pass doesn't seem like the system or, you know, the method to support it. Got thrashed, people bashed me, people were angry, oh, Puerto Rock, you're just a hater, Microsoft could do nothing right, you're just a Sony fanboy, and all this Xbox green bullshit. No logic. They weren't even listening to the merit. Like, how can you sustain big AAA budgets with just $10 a month, and the majority of users aren't even staying on that? I even ask a lot of the guys, hey, Xbox, you know, Game Pass has been out for 24 months already. How many of you have already invested $240 at $10 a month? Most of them said, no, I actually didn't. And that's my point. Game Pass is not generating the revenue to support big AAA projects. Because remember, whatever money it does make, it doesn't just go to that game. It gets spread across 200 titles and the sustainment of the network, right? But people be like, oh, Game Pass is this, that, all this crying. Well, guess what? Microsoft just recently released their quarterly financial statements, right? And software and game services revenue, game software sales and revenue from services is down 3%. Money's down when it comes to games and services. They made less money. They're losing money. What did you think was going to happen when you take a $60 game and you're able to put it in the hands of gamers for $10? What I've said is exactly, Microsoft reported it. Their games and software services is down 3%. No shit. You think? So do you think with revenue going down, Microsoft's going to spike it up and invest some big? No. They're going to stick with the budget of what Game Pass does, and they're just going to force feed it, you know, feed it with indies and single A titles and all that. If Game Pass does get to the point one day where it's making shit tons of revenue, then you might see AAA titles, whatever. But who knows how long that's going to be? You know, you didn't see Netflix starting their big budget, you know, exclusive content at Netflix for like 7 years, 8 years. So you might not even see this. You might see Game Pass become really successful towards the end of next generation. You know what I'm saying? Everybody thinks I'm fanboy, whatever, bro. I tell you people time and time again, I am your only friend in these YouTube streets. I use logic, not fanboyism, right? I'm going to post a link to the investors. You could check it out on Twitter, PuertoRock77 _, and you can see for yourself in my tweets, in linking, whatever. Xbox games or whatever is down. So how do you expect big budget titles? Anyway, this is your boy PuertoRock77. Let me know what you think about this info and just give you a quick update and stuff. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, hit the like button because you're going to like the content I'm coming up soon. And, you know, you guys take care. Enjoy your weekend, all right? Hope to see you with my Days Gone review. Peace.